Hey there, I'm Danielle D'Onofrio. Welcome back to the Danielle D'Onofrio Daily Podcast. I'm a life transformation coach here to help you break through the generational cycles and false beliefs that keep you from creating a life you love. If you're new here, consider subscribing and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you get alerted when I release new videos. And today I want to talk to you guys about what it means to heal, especially for women. So I've been on this journey for over a decade. I've even written my own methodology to help other people progress through the journey. Before it starts to make sense, before you really even understand what healing is, I have a methodology for you that can get you moving along a path, really carving your own path and moving forward through growth and through healing and through peeling back the layers, through action and through practices and guiding principles. Because here's the thing is we really don't understand much about what the journey really looks like in the beginning. And it's hard to even make sense of what we're supposed to do or what it's supposed to feel like. And I realize that now, a decade in, so I've written a book to help you guys navigate your way, especially in the beginning, and really start to wrap your head around what the journey even is. The book is not available yet, but I do have a free ebook which offers a primer on the entire methodology, which is called The Rehab for Everyone: Lifestyle Approach to Healing and Personal Development. That primer is available as a free ebook down in the description below, so you can download that, request your free copy, and that will definitely get you started. And then you can reach out to me, look on my website if you'd like to work with me on coaching or anything like that. But I come to you here with this free daily podcast to bring you stories from my life, insights, and practices that you can do to help you along your journey. But today, what I want to talk to you about is, what are we aiming for? Right? So everyone has their own goals and dreams. Everyone is so beautifully unique, right? But what are we going for? And I realized that to me, there's an end state, like there's a goal. There's sort of like an essence that we're looking to become on the journey. And the essence is going to enable us to do what we want to do, right? Everyone has something different that they want to do, but it's when we are able to step into a particular essence of our being that we can fully move towards what it is that we want and desire, right? It all takes action and intention, and there's a lot of doing when it comes to achieving our dreams. Your biggest, boldest dreams. We always want to keep those big, bold dreams, in our grasp along the journey. But who do we have to become in order to get there? And I use the word essence, and that's just sort of a word that's popping up for me today, and especially and even over the last week. I've been thinking about the word essence. What does it mean to fully step into your essence? And I think another word or another phrase for essence is your personal power, like your true personal power. Who would you be without your false beliefs, without your, maybe dysfunctional cycles, without your traumas, without your fears, without your self-judgments or judgments of others? Like, who would you be if you had none of those layers holding you back, right? I'm just thinking about it for myself, and I'm saying I know exactly where I want to be headed, and I know that I have to continue to transform into a version of myself that is capable of making those things happen. And in other words, I have to continue to move towards my full, complete essence, my personal power, if I want to do those things. And the healing and growth journey is what that's all about. And I've been thinking about this a lot because, like I said, I've been on the journey for a long time. I've written out a methodology, and I always describe the end state. And look, I want to clarify though, the healing and growth journey doesn't ever end. It's once you're on that journey, you're on it for the rest of your life, because there's no end to learning about yourself and to growing and to becoming, continuing to blossom. There's no end. You're just going to do that forever now, and that is the beautiful thing. But what are we aiming for, right? And so I won't even use that word end state anymore. But it's, what are we aiming for? Well, what is that ultimate vision? And it's really, it's a journey of becoming the fullest expression of who we are. And when I think about it for myself, I think it probably applies to most people. And that is, I am a person who, I'm going to just go through a list, right? I am a person who says what I want to say without fear of repercussion. I tell the truth because I believe that whatever comes from me telling to truth, whatever comes from me telling the truth is going to be the best possible outcome. That when I walk into a room, I fully believe that I am meant to be there, no matter what anyone else thinks. That I believe that I can make happen whatever I want to make happen in my life. And the only thing holding me back, I know completely, is my own limiting beliefs, which I have the opportunity to shed. And I'm a person who is okay being me. I'm okay being alone. And I enjoy relationships. And I know which types of relationships are healthy and not so healthy. And I'm just very secure in who I am. Other people's opinions, failures, unexpected circumstances, they can't shake me because I am fully grounded. I'm in my authenticity. And I understand that I am not separate from everything around me. I am not separate from the universe. I am part of the universe. And anything is possible. And I really think that in order to get to that point, we have to peel back a lot of layers. And depending on your history, your childhood, things that you've experienced in your life so far, it's going to be different for everyone. It's a very wide spectrum in terms of how many layers we have piled on and how much work we have to do to get to where we want to go, right? It's not the same for everyone. Some people don't even ever, get to a point in their life where they feel like they have to be on a journey or they have to heal. They're just like, things have been good and they're generally happy and peaceful and they're fine. And I always say that, if your life has been difficult and because of that, you feel like you need to go on, a healing journey or you need to put in the work, it feels unfair, like why did I have to go through those difficult things earlier in life? And, other people have had it easier. I wouldn't compare that way because even though that, difficult things, especially things like abuse, no, they shouldn't have happened. You're absolutely right. However, any reason that we have that sends us on the journey of healing and personal growth, at least it got us here, right? Because this is the best journey of all. Really is the best journey of all, to be trying to learn more about yourself so that you can learn how to self-heal and generate your own peace and generate your own empowerment. It's a beautiful gift. It's a beautiful gift just landing on the journey, okay? And I talk a lot about this in the beginning of the book. If difficult things happened to you earlier in life, absolutely it wasn't fair. Absolutely you did not deserve that. However, the responsibility to heal and grow is still in your hands. It's still on you, right? We own our responsibility to make change once we realize it's possible. Okay? No one else can do it for us. That's the reason why it's our responsibility, is because no one else can do it for us. We have to do the work if we want positive change. And yeah, I mean, once you're on the journey, people who go on the journey have the opportunity to really dive deep into their essence. And that is where our power exists. And, I think it was Joe Rogan or somebody was saying something along the lines of, it seems like everyone you meet who is super successful or has achieved crazy, goals and accomplishments, a lot of times you find out that those people have had extraordinarily difficult lives, in earlier seasons of life. And, whether there's a reason or not for that, I don't think we know, right? But people give reason to it. They give purpose to it by saying, I'm going to do something amazing with my life now. These circumstances were hard, But once they get that glimmer that, I can take different action, I can make different decisions, I can behave differently, I can actually control my thoughts. Once people get the glimmer that all that is possible, a lot of times that's all the motivation that we need to go on an extraordinary path and experience extraordinary things. Okay? And I think that being fully in your essence is where you're able to um, get the most out of those extraordinary circumstances, right? It's like it takes a lot of bravery and courage to take that step out of your comfort zone, um, and go and do something that is going to transform who you are. And every time you do something difficult, right, it's going to peel back the layers because it's going to shake up your system, right? And that just sort of starts to loosen things. And when we loosen things, because things are moving around, we're doing new things, we're experiencing new things, we're experiencing new challenges and limiting beliefs, things just like start to move from an energetic standpoint, and all of these new insights about ourselves start to show up. And every layer we peel back brings us closer and closer to the core of who we are. And from that core, we're no longer afraid, right? We have reasonable fear, but not, we have rational fear, but not irrational fear. Rational fear keeps us physically safe, right? But irrational fears keep us stuck, right? But as we peel back those layers and get back to our essence, anything seems possible. And I think that that's really what the healing journey is all about. Coming back to, where we started this discussion, is getting to a place where any of your goals are going to feel completely possible because there's nothing holding you back. Right? And that's really the transformation. You go from being, and I can speak for myself here. I went from being a person who, sought validation, survived on validation actually, felt completely controlled by the opinions and judgments of other people. I really kind of molded myself to my circumstances out of survival, out of fear of being abandoned. And while I knew how to work hard, usually me working hard was just my motivation was, getting a certain amount of praise and validation in order to keep my self-esteem afloat. But it stayed within a very small sphere. And I realized through my journey that small sphere was like, I want to get the positive attention for doing what I'm doing, but I can't go too far out of my limits. Otherwise, possibly the people in my life are going to be offended or jealous, or that's just going to take me into a zone that I don't know what to expect, or I don't know how to handle it. And so I always kind of limited myself. I'd push only so far, and then I'd reel it back in. And that was sort of my beginning state. I knew how to be successful. I knew how to get, accolades and praise and things like that. But I didn't really know what it meant to decide what my own goals were and then actually chase those goals. And if anyone was going to, you know, uh, block those goals or criticize those goals or try to hold me back, you know, I could just just keep moving forward. And if people are going to fall away, right? I had to learn that through the journey. And so, I mean, I just wanted to give you guys that because I'm starting to think a little bit more about what is it that we're going for? What's sort of like we're starting here at the beginning of the journey. What is it that what does healing mean? Like, what are we going for? What are we aiming for? Just from a natural perspective, like in nature, really in nature, when humans set to transform their life, what are they actually trying to do? Is it just like, oh, I want to start a business and get wealthy, or I want to learn how to have inner peace? Or is sort of the max benefit of the healing journey actually getting to our essence where anything is possible, stepping into the fullest expression of who we are, to experience who we are? Because that's the thing, is before the journey before you've begun healing, you haven't really experienced who you really are, or maybe you've gotten glimmers along the way. Most likely you've gotten glimmers along the way, right? But we kind of tamper those, right? We quiet them down. We're afraid to experience ourselves sometimes because that feels vulnerable, right? So we protect our true selves with all of those layers, all of those defense mechanisms, all of the survival tactics. We cover our authentic selves and our essence because we want to protect it. It's too sacred, right? But the problem is, we go through all those difficult circumstances, we deal with all those things, our traumas, whatever it is, and we're actually quite skilled at putting on those layers to protect ourselves. But when we bring those layers into adulthood with us, they prevent us from thriving in different areas of life. And they can lead to quite a bit of suffering. Never mind just preventing us from living the life we dream of. They actually lead to suffering. And that's why the journey is so important. So I will leave you with that for today's podcast. And again, if you have not yet begun your journey, or you're just now thinking like, okay, something's got to change, go ahead and download that free ebook that is in the description below. It will definitely get you started, at least thinking more deeply about what does it mean to be on a journey, and what are the things that I can start thinking about. There are 4 pillars in the methodology: boundaries, movement, exploration, and energetic self-care. So you can really start to compartmentalize like the themes that start to work together to move you forward, into carving your path. So if this video is helpful, I'd love for you to hit the thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below if you have any questions or comments. And again, hit the subscribe button so you get alerted when I release new videos. And I will be back here with you tomorrow. So today is January 7th. So it is episode 7 of this daily podcast. I'm releasing a podcast for you guys with my thoughts on the healing and growth journey every single day in 2025. So I have not been feeling well the last couple of days. This is like day 3 of me being sick. I definitely sound a lot better than I did on yesterday's video, that's for sure. But I'm here, I'm showing up for you. And that's part of my journey, is showing up for myself. Even when a lot of different things around me, including my own thoughts, are saying, it doesn't matter, it's okay to skip a day. I've learned that showing up for myself and keeping the commitments I make for myself is a very important part of the journey, because it builds self-confidence, it builds self-trust. And those are things that, like many other practices and principles on the journey or in my methodology, help us navigate closer and closer to, our essence, our authenticity. So thank you so much for joining me today. If you made it this far in the video, I so appreciate it. And I hope to connect with you down in the comments. And yeah, I'll catch you tomorrow. Thank you so much. Take care.